Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. I don't know what the little tapping thing was about to start, but for the main part of the read, I'm using the Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. It's here at the top. It focuses. There we go. Supportive Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. One day, I will find where I put that Halloween Oracle, and I'm going to use it. It will probably be, at the end of winter, of course. But still, I will find it one day. What do we got for Cancer? Okay. A lot going on here in the environment. What's going on with that? I have a feeling this is going to be more about the missing pieces about what's going on around you. Because you have good energy starting right off here with the gratitude card. It feels very realistic to me. Kind of like, you know what? Not everything's perfect, but you know what is good? I'm thankful for what is good. And like, you listing off whatever's good. Like, this is good, that's good, the other thing's good. And I'm thankful for all those things. I may not have blah, 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 but I got this person in my life and that person in my life, and we were together for this. And you know what? We didn't have a 10-course meal, but we had a good turkey and a couple of sides, and that was great. What we did have was wonderful, and I was happy to be with the people I was with. Like, I feel like your energy is kind of like that when this is starting off. Like, you know what? Things don't have to be perfect, but the people I was with, that made it great, and I was happy for that. So what's the bump? What's the deal? Ugh, that is the Ten of Swords. Okay. This is in the environment. I'm so hesitant to get into it. I don't know why, but this is what I feel like you don't... I don't know if you're going to see this. I think you're just going to see the outcome, quite frankly. Is that focus or acceptance? Acceptance, resilience, and faith. The two tarot cards are... it's the Ten of Swords, but it's leading into justice. Somebody did something. This you didn't do. You didn't have any hand in this. I don't think you had any hand in whatever went wrong. But the Ten of Swords is telling me somebody did something they should not have done. There are rules, and those rules were not heeded. I don't want to say there were rules. There were warnings. I think that's a better way to put it. There were warnings, and those warnings were ignored. That's the Ten of Swords coming in. That's also like starting with resilience, going to acceptance, and then into faith. Starting with resilience is where the Ten of Swords is. Right? If we match them up, because that's how I read them. Yep, Ten of Swords over here. Somebody felt like they could do what they could do, and we're going to do what they wanted to do. And they were like, nope, I don't care about these warnings. I want what I want, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Ten of Swords hits. And then justice comes in. Like, I feel like justice comes in very harshly for somebody. There's details here. Like, there were warnings. There was like, this didn't have to happen. That kind of came in. There's this energy of like, this didn't have to happen this way. But when the justice comes in with the Ten of Swords, kind of like somebody made a choice, and now they have to accept the consequences, and now you just got to take it on faith that it's going to correct. Hopefully it just makes me feel like I hope this is a situation where this can correct, because sometimes, when things go wrong, they're not fixable. I don't want to go down that road because it makes me sad, because, sometimes things are not fixable for whatever reason. When this happens, this is very hard for you, because you didn't have a hand in it, and you couldn't stop what happened. You had nothing you could do. When I'm getting this, I'm seeing that heart on her head and the Band-Aid, kind of like, I just want to fix it. I just want to correct this. I don't want this to be like this. I don't want this to be this bad. And you're just kind of stuck there observing. There's really not much you can do. You're just kind of stuck there observing what's happening and hating it. That doesn't have to last forever, but there's a period of time. Now, the Six of Swords comes in with the Hanged Man. it's accepting that somebody else made their decision, and there's nothing for anybody else to do about it. They have to adhere by the rules. They had warnings. They have to surrender to the situation and handle it however it needs to be handled. It's kind of like, that kid that his parents go away on the weekend and then he has the big party and the house is trashed. Well, now that the weekend's over and the parents came home and they see the trashed house, now the kids got to surrender. Like, now I got to pay my dues because it's clearly trashed, and like I live here and they live here, so just kind of have to own up to it. The Six of Swords with the Hanged Man, though, is kind of like, Six of Swords is usually trying to move on. But it's kind of like with the Hanged Man, it's kind of like it's saying that the situation will move on, but not until the devil gets its due. I guess it's more that. Is the devil here? I don't see the devil at the moment. I'm like looking, like, are you here, devil? I don't see him. I don't see the devil. But yeah, the Hanged Man is saying no, not until we've decided how this is going to be corrected. Like, it's kind of like, all right, the house is a mess. You had a party, and now here's what the repercussions are. It's kind of like, all right, everything's being laid down, and this is what's going to happen to correct this situation. And then it's just kind of like the Hanged Man is like, it's not, I don't know, it's moving on from the situation. Things will correct, but it's kind of like you got to wait for this person to like pay their dues and do what they got to do. There's something they have to do to rectify the situation, and that's going to have its time to play out. And it's just kind of like the Hanged Man is like, I'm not going until this is made right. Once it is made right, it seems like, okay, we can move on from this troubled energy. I'm also getting with that Six of Swords and the Hanged Man, it's kind of like, I don't feel a lot of arguing and fighting about what it takes to correct the situation. It's just, it has to be done. It's just one of those feelings. Like, the house needs to be cleaned up, you got to do that. These things have to be paid for, you're going to have to get a job to do that. You know what I mean? You're not going to be left at home alone again, ever in your life. So that's happening. That's those things. Once it's rectified, the Chariot is your card. Your card is showing up. Once that's rectified, your card shows up. You get to come in and try to put things back together. Whatever's done is done. Whatever's said is said. You get to try to like re-solidify and re-establish the bonds between everybody. Kind of like, now that happened, let's strengthen what we have left over. Now that it's done, let's just make sure we're all standing strong and together. Things happen, choices were made, but now that things are done, let's hold strong, let's hold together. And that seems to be like your energy, kind of like, all right, now that that's happened, we have to band together and hold together and be that unit because we are strong together. I'm feeling like you're pulling people together. And I'm getting the Fool with the Pleasure. The other people believe in this too, and they want this as well. The Fool and the Pleasure is kind of like you stepping in to do this, like other people aren't liking this either, and you pulling them together is kind of like, all right, I don't have to feel like I'm by myself on this, or I don't have to feel like this is the worst thing, like it is going to pass. It's almost like you're giving them that green light, like we can start letting that go, we can start healing and moving on from that. We can start trying to just re-solidify our group and pull out everybody together. And people are really open to that. They want that to happen. There is a little bit of an energy of the Emperor with power. Now they're backing this up. Like, I like the Emperor card, I very much do. But in this energy, it may be a little bit disruptive. Be aware of it. This is somebody else who wants to take control of the situation in some fashion. And they're very much about the power here. Work with this energy once you realize who it is and decide what you need to come of that. Try to work with this energy. If you can find a way to work with this energy, success is a lot easier. Working against this energy is not going to go well. I feel like for those of you that's going to hit, you're gonna know what to do with that. I don't think that's a new energy. It doesn't feel new to me. Star card comes in, I feel like you're kind of like, all right, yeah, so-and-so, I know that's how they're going to be. I want to keep my group together. I got to keep things working. So let me see what do they want and how do we work this out in a way that's acceptable for everybody. So let me see what they want and work with that. Because you got the Star card. I feel like you're addressing this Emperor energy and you're like, all right, let me see. What does that Emperor want? What do we need to do here? You just seem to be like more in the proactive, kind of like, yeah, I know that'll be a problem if I don't deal with it, so I'll just deal with it. because you got action. Like, literally, you're going forward and you're like, no, I didn't like this situation, and now there's a chance to pull things together and make this more solid again, and I'm going to do that. And if I have to deal with the Emperor, it doesn't mean the Emperor is good or bad. I don't feel either way. I just feel like it's a very strong energy that wants what it wants, and you just kind of have to like, all right, let me put it together, let me address it, deal with it, move forward with it. Because also with the Emperor, action does seem to work with the Emperor very well. If you're moving forward and making things happen, it does seem to please the Emperor. You're more likely to get things the way you want if you move quickly and keep moving and keep the energy going, keep it flowing. The Emperor seems to be more conducive and more cooperative with that. Where is this ending? Page of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Moon. I like these. It's funny because I always think of the Moon. I used to always say it was Cancer because in astrology the Cancer is ruled by the Moon, but it's actually Pisces. I'm a Pisces, if we're just going to throw that out there for fun. I'm feeling like there's a lot of following energy. A lot of people emotionally attached to you and that believe in you and want to follow what you're saying. People want to work with you. I know you got the Emperor going on here, but people, like, it's almost like they're believing in your dream. I don't know if it's a dream or if it's reality, but they want this to be comfortable. They want this to be safe. They want this to work. And they believe that you are in the right place mentally to make that happen. So people are supporting you. It's stabilizing things with the... Is that the 10? Was it 10 here? 2 of Pentacles. It is stabilizing things, but working with these decisions, people trust that you're looking out for them too. I don't feel people fighting you because they just trust that you're looking out for them too. Like, they're a part of the situation. You love them. They love you. Like, we all look out for each other. They just trust you. They're also trusting you to keep the Emperor under control. I don't know if you like that, but they seem to be trusting you to keep the Emperor under control, whatever that means. Where will this go? That's a good question with the Moon card. That's yet to be seen. I feel like they just want to give you that information. Like, people are just trusting you. They believe you have it under control. And they just kind of feel like if they just work with you, it'll be all right. So they're trusting you to take care of the Emperor for everybody. That might be a tall order. So you might want to pull people in to help you deal with the Emperor. You might want to get like a little bit of like some backup to deal with the Emperor because the Emperor is strong. Not that you can't deal with the Emperor by yourself, but it might be easier if you have some support with that. Alright, I think we're good. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.